परमंश परिव्राजकाचार्य सुतर सदस्यमान भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंड की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। नववेद भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the Ashtanga. All glories to the Ashtanga. All glories to the Ashtanga. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Last time we had played part of this lecture, some few minutes, 8 minutes. Now we are continuing ahead.
Next is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, first chapter, text number 40, given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on July 28, 1973, in London, England.
Condition. So why shall I leave it? These are some of the extreme examples of chastity. Not to speak of olden days, I have seen in Bombay in 1935 or 34, on the roadside there was a beggar. The beggar, the face was defaced, might be some accident. His eyes and everything became defaced. He could not see, everything became useless. So he was sitting on the roadside and his wife also sitting. But I saw that beggar was neat and clean, the wife was also neat and clean. The wife's business was that to keep the husband always neat and clean and pressed and bring him there and again taking at home young woman. So I could understand that the wife is so chaste. She has not left such ugly husband because his face was defaced and helping him because they required some money. So we have seen there are many stories of chaste women. Many stories. There was one disciple of Ramanujacharya, very poor. So Ramanujacharya came in that poor disciple's house and he saw there was no one in the house. So he thought, what is this? This is my disciple's house, his family met, why there is none? That means he could understand that the door is not locked, the door was closed only. Then he could understand that within the door his wife is there. Therefore he knocked the door and there was response also knocking, but she could not come out. That means she was so poor that she had no garment. She was keeping herself within the room naked. So Ramanuja could understand that there is his wife, maybe she has no sufficient clothing. So immediately his own clothes he gave within the room. And the woman came out putting on that and then offered obeisance. So he could understand the position that very, very poor, even no clothing. So after putting on the cloth, he went to the grocer's shop because Ramanujacharya is there, she must receive. Grocer's shop. The grocer knew that this woman is very poor. So his business was to entice her. But she never agreed, although she was young. Now this woman went to the grocer's shop that you know that I am very poor. I require immediately some grains, ghee and other things. My Guru Maharaj has come at home. I must receive. So tonight I agree with your proposal. Please give me. Even at the sacrifice of my chastity I want you. So the grocer was very glad. No, this woman I have convinced her, tried to induce her. She never agreed, and now she is agreed. So, all right, you take, whatever you like, take. So she was given all kinds of food grains, as much as she wanted, and she cooked and gave to the spiritual master and his associates, his servants. Everything was very nice. In the meantime, the husband came working whole day, and he saw that everything was nicely done. Guru Maharaj is paid and his associates are paid. So he asked his wife, how did you get all these things? Then she narrated the whole story. Then the husband also said, yes, you have promised, all right, take some prasadam and go to him. Because you have promised to meet him this evening, so go. Then the grocer heard the whole story and his mind became changed. Oh, such a chaste woman, such a faithful, see, you are my mother. you take more ingredients, grains, as much as you like. So there are still, that is not very long ago. So this was the training. And the psychology is that woman, the first man she meets, and if she is kept carefully, she becomes staunch lover. This is psychology. There is good psychology in maintaining the society. Therefore, a woman, especially in India, especially in Bengal, before attaining puberty, she was married. Not to meet the husband unless she attains puberty. But she remained at father's house. But she must know that I am married, I have got husband. This psychology. Then she becomes very chaste. Because she thinks of her husband and becomes more and more devoted. So, this arrangement that woman must be married before puberty, or if not after, she must get a husband. So, in this dharma, it is called Kanyadar. Kanyadar. Kanyadar means it is very obligatory that the father must get the daughter married. This is dharma. So, if this dharma or this religious principle is violated, that is, Arjuna is marking, adharma bhava. When people become neglectful of the family tradition and religious principles, adharma abhibhavat, Krishna pradushanti kulastriya. Kulastriya. Kulastriya means, kula means family, and striya means woman. So woman must be belonging to a respectable family. Therefore it is said kulastriya. Not society girl. Kulastriya, of the family. We have got experience in our college days. I was sitting in a friend's house and one sweeper, woman, sweeper with broomstick and with what is called covering. She was standing, say about 20 years distant from her sitting place. So I asked my friend that this sweeper woman wants to come in. She is waiting because we are sitting. She is ashamed to come. So let us come. So we stood separately. That means although she was a sweeper woman, still we had to honor her to enter. We stood up separately. She was feeling that how can I go between two men? And this we have seen in our... So this is Vedic culture. Woman should not be allowed to mix with man. Not allowed. In Japan also, the same system. Before marriage they can mix, but after marriage they cannot mix. In Japan also I have seen. But in India, still the system is there. Woman without husband cannot talk with any man. That is also psychological. In the Bhagavad it is stated that man is like ghee, butter pot, and woman is like fire. Therefore, as soon as there is fire and butter pot, the butter pot must melt. Therefore they should be kept aside. These are the statements. And the Shastra says that in a solitary place you should not remain, even with your daughter, even with your sister, even with your mother. Matra sasra duhitrava na vivikta sanevase balavan indriya grama viddangsapi karsati. Either your mother or sister or daughter. Nobody becomes lusty with mother or sister or daughter. But Shastra says, even your mother or sister or daughter, you should not live in a solitary place. Then one may question how it is possible. No. The Shastra says, Balavan Indriya Grama. The senses are so strong that it becomes polluted. Now it may be, some rascal fools may be polluted like. No. Shastra, Viddham Savikarsati. Even the most learned, he can be polluted. So sometimes in India I am criticized that I keep women and men in the same temple. In India that is not allowed. No man can leave at night. They can come and go. But I defend myself that this is the system of the country. The women and men, they intermingle. How can I check it? Then the woman, shall I not give them any chance for chanting Hare Krishna? No, I shall do these chants. I shall give this chance to women even at the risk. That is my request. So therefore, chastity is very, very important thing for producing good population, nice population. So unless the population is good, if the population become hippies, then how there can be any peace and prosperity? Therefore, to produce children, there is sanskar. First sanskar is garbhadhan sanskar. This is called kula dharma. Garbhadhan sanskar means when especially the high caste, Brahmana, Kshatriya, especially, Shudra, not Shudra. Shudra has no sanskar. Only the higher class, Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya. The Vaishya also sometimes no sanskar. But Brahmana, Kshatriya must have sanskar. Dasavidha sanskar, 10 kinds of sanskar. One of the sanskar means purificatory method. One of the sanskar is also marriage. One must get married. So, before the child is given birth, there is sanskar. It is called garbhadhan sanskar. It is not that the husband and wife mix without any restriction and have sex life at any time. No. You know that mother of Hiranyakashipu, Kaustubhani, I think, father. So, see, the woman became very much sexually excited. And the husband replied that this is not time, this is very bad time, evening. Why you are insisting? But she was too much lusty, and because the husband was obliged, Hiranyakashipu was born. A demon was born. Therefore, there is garbhadhan sanskar to find out when the husband and wife should mix and give birth to a child. Therefore in the Bhagavad Gita I will see that sex life, which is according to the principle of religious ideas, that is iron. The sex life is not bad, provided it is executed according to the religious principles. So Garbhadhan Sanskar, just what is the idea? The idea is the child born must be first class. He will be able to become Krishna conscious, he will be able to understand the Shastras, the Vedas, he must have the good brain. These were the ideas. But if they are not born in that way, like cats and dogs, that is called Varna Sankara. Varna Sankara. You cannot specify whether he is a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or Shudra. That is called Varna Sankara. So Varna Sankara population is not good. Varna Sankara. No caste. No definition to which class this man belongs. So at the present moment, because these purificatory processes are not accepted, even in India, except when they are unable, everything has topsy-turvy. Therefore, the Shastra says that accept everyone as Shudra. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. There is no more Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya. All Shudras. You have to accept, because no Vedic culture, no Garbhadhan Sanskar. They are born like cats and dogs. So where is this division? There cannot be. Therefore accept them as Shudra. Varna Shankar is less than Shudra. So at least Shudra they should be. So there is no Vedic Dikha. For Shudra there is no Dikha. There is no initiation. See, initiation is meant for the persons who are born in Brahmana family, Kshatriya family, or Vaishya family. The Shudra has no initiation. So in India, there are professional gurus. They initiate Shudras, but do not eat foodstuff touched by the disciple. So there are so many things. If he is initiated, how he can remain Shudra? But they keep him Shudra, at the same time they become Guru. So Sanatana Goswami gives direction in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that Tatha Dikha Vidhanena Dijattam Jayate Nina. If properly initiated, he becomes immediately Brahman. Dijatyam. Dija means second birth. Jatha kanchana tang jati, kamsa raso vidhanaka. There is a chemical process that kamsa, bell metal, can be turned into gold by mixing with proportionately mercury. Now here is a hint of chemistry. If anyone can prepare gold, but it is very difficult to mix mercury. As soon as there is little heat, immediately the mercury is finished. So there is a process. Everything has process. Many yogis know how to make gold from copper. Actually, chemically, copper, tin and mercury, if you mix proportionately, it will be gold. So, Sanatana Goswami gives this example as the copper and tin. These two metals mixed with mercury, there can be production of gold. Similarly, by proper initiation, by the proper spiritual master, one Shudra, even though he is a Shudra, less than Shudra, Varna Shankar or Chandala, he can become Dija, Brahman. So our process is to make Dija Pancharatri ki vidhi. Pancharatri ki vidhi. That is recommended. Shruti Sriti Puranadi Pancharatri ki vidhi bina Oikantiki Harer Bhakti Utpata eva kalpate. Rupa Goswami gives this direction. That the initiation must be done according to Shruti, Sriti or Pancharatri. There is Nyaya Prasthan, Shruti Prasthan and Smriti Prasthan. To make spiritual progress in three ways. By the Vedanta philosophy or Vedic ways or according to Smriti. Smriti means authorized books written in accordance to the Shruti, Shruti Sthiti. Just like Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is not directly Vedas, but all the stanzas of Bhagavad Gita, they are strictly according to the Nyaya Prasthan and Shruti Prasthan. So any book which is strictly written according to the Vedas and Vedantas, that is also accepted as Vedic literature. So Pancharatriki Vidhi means that it doesn't matter whether man is Shudra or Chandala. Chandala means less than Shudra, Panchama, the fifth grade. First class Brahmana, second class Kshatriya, third class Vaishya, fourth class Shudra, and below this fourth class they are all Chandalas. Chandalas means Panchama, untouchable. They are called untouchable. So, in the untouchables, because Krishna has said, Mang hi partha vyapasita jepishu papajuna. The papajani Chandal means papajani, born of low-grade family. The Bhagavad says, Sukadeva Goswami says that Kirata hunandra puninda pukkasa abhira sambha javana khasadaya. Javana, mlecha javan. They are called, they are also counted amongst the Chandalas. Jenne cha papa, and even lower than that. Jenne cha papa. Shuddhanti, they become purified. How? Prabha Vishnave Nama, when they are initiated to become Krishna conscious. So if one may argue, how it is possible to make a Chandala a Vaishnava? No, that is possible. Prabha Vishnave Nama, Vishnu is so powerful, omnipotent, he can do that. So only by Vishnu mantra, by becoming a Vaishnava, one can transcend all these restrictions, sociology, you can understand. That is confirmed by Krishna. Manchabhya vicharini bhakti yogena ja sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya. Immediately. He transcends. He is in the Brahma platform. One who has taken very seriously this devotional service. He is no more on this material platform. So long we are in the material platform, these distinctions, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Varna, Shankar, they are considered. But when one is transcendentally situated, simply in pure, unallied service of the Lord, he is no more in the material platform, he is in the spiritual platform. Brahma Bhuyaya. He is only in the Brahma platform. Brahma platform means Sagunan Samatitta Etan. This material platform means three modes of material nature. Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. Here in one is Brahmana. Satagun means the Brahminical qualification. He is also contaminated. He is also contaminated. He is conditioned by the material nature. And what to speak of Shudra and Varna Shankara. Everyone is conditioned by the material nature. Devi Jesa Gunamai. Well, Brahmana means to be situated, a first class prisoner. A first class prisoner is also prisoner. You cannot say that is free. No. Free is different from a first class prisoner. Sometimes any respectable gentleman, some political offense, he is put into jail, just like Gandhi also went to jail and so many others. But they are given the place, first class prisoners. They got servant, they got separate bungalow and books, library, all facilities, but they cannot go out of it. They are called first class prisoners. So, to become a Brahmana means to become a first class prisoner. That's all. So our point of view is not to become a first-class prisoner, to get out of the prison. That is Vaishnavism. You'll find, last night I have given comments, the Madhavendra Puri, he was performing the Annakut ceremony and installing the deity. So everything was being Brahmana, done by Brahmana, qualified Brahmana. But Madhavendra Puri initiated them again to become Vaishnava. Then he gave them in charge of the deity worship. So the Vaishnava functions cannot be done even by a Brahmana. Even one is qualified Brahmana. He is unfit to propagate Vaishnava philosophy. That is stated in the Shastra. Sat karma nipuna vipra mantra tantra visharada. Avaishnava guru nasasyat. Sad Vaishnava sapacho guru. Sapacho means chandala, who was eating dog. That is considered the lowest. There are different kinds of meat eaters. But in India, the cow flesh eaters, there are none. Some of them are eating hogs, even dogs, but there was no government will not allow to eat the cow flesh, no. That is not. If you want to eat flesh, you can eat hogs and dogs and other goats also. But you cannot touch a cow. This is restriction. First of all, they should not be meat eaters. But if you are staunch meat eaters, then you cannot touch cow. You can eat some other animal. That is sapacha. Sapacha means the dog eaters. In Korea and some parts of there, they eat dogs. They sell dog flesh publicly. So in India also there is a class. In Assam side, they eat also dog. So the dog eaters, they are considered lowest of the mankind. There is a sapacha. Sa means dog, and pacha means who cooks. Sapacha means chandala. If a man from the sapacha family or the chandala family, he becomes a Vaishnava strictly according to the orders, then he can become guru. But not a Brahmana if he is not a Vaishnava. This is the distinction. Even one is born in the family of a Brahmana, and he is not only born, he is qualified. Sat karma nipuna. Nipuna means qualified. Brahmana has got 6 kinds of occupation. He must be learned himself, he must be able to teach others, Vedic literatures, that is called pathan pathan. Then he must worship, worship means demigod, or they consider that any demigod or god the same, some impersonalism. So jajana jajan, there are other also religious ritual functions they perform, that is called jajan. Jajana jajan and dana pratigraha. A Brahmana takes contribution. A Brahman is never engaged in service like Shudra. That is Shudra's business. So these are called dharmas. There are so many departmental dharmas. So Arjuna is referring to this, that adharma vibhavat Krishna. When these principles are sacrificed and there is awakening of adharma, irreligious principles, then the result will be adharma abhibhavat Krishna pradushanti kulastriya. Then the stricture will be withdrawn and the family woman and woman, they will be polluted. And as soon as the woman is polluted, strishu dushtashu, the woman is polluted, brasneya, my dear Krishna, jayati varna sankara, then the whole population will be varna sankara.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And the next verse will explain how Varna Sankara population makes this world exactly like hell. That is stated. Sankaro narakayaiva kulagnanam kulasya patanti pitaro hi esham lupta pindodaka kriya. This will be explained next. So 5000 years, you just try to understand how the society was going on strictly on the Vedic principles. So now there is no such thing. Nobody is observing Vedic principles. And because the Vedic principles were strictly being followed, the whole world was one unit, controlled by these Pandavas. Even the grandson of Pandav, Maharaj Parikshit, this is on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Then, when the battle was over, the next king was Maharaj Parikshit, grandson of Arjun. Up to that time, everything was in order, Vedic principle, all over the world. There was no question of eating meat. The same principles were followed: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, because the king was very strong. Maharaj Parikshit, when he saw that a black man was going to kill one cow, immediately he took his sword. Who are you? I shall kill you immediately. That was king's stricture. So the Kali was ordered to get out of his kingdom. He begged of his life, Sir, you are going to kill me, but it is my time. I have now come and it is my business, cow killing. So what can I do? This is my business. So Maharaj Parikshit understood that now the Kali Yuga is coming, so it is his business. So I am as king, how can I stop his business? That is also another problem. One must be occupied, one must be engaged in his business. Therefore, he asked him to go to these places where in the slaughterhouse, in the brothel for illicit sex and slaughterhouse, and in the drunkard den for intoxication and gambling place. So Kali was in difficulty to find out a place like that in that place, in that time. He could not find. Therefore, there was conspiracy to kill the king so that Kali can enter. So these are the principles. This is called human society. Varnashrama acharvata purushena parapuman. In human society, Vishnur aradhyate. Let the Lord is worshipped, but nate viduhu swartagatim hi Vishnu. At the present moment, these rascals, they do not know. Andha yatandir upaniyamanaha. And the so-called leaders, they are blind themselves and they are trying to lead other blind men. This is the social position. Therefore, there is no more hope of reviving the Vedic culture. But by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, the Vedic culture means to cleanse the heart and make him perfect. Brahma Bhutaha, perfectly spiritualized. That is Vedic culture. Vedescha Sarvair Ahameva Vedyaha. To know the Supreme Lord, that is Vedic culture. Now everything is topsy-turvy. Therefore, by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has simply recommended Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Only chant. Then the result will be Chetodarpanamarjanam. The same result as the Vedic culture introduced will purify the heart to understand one's position. By the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, the same position will come. It is so nice. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Brajit. Therefore, there is no question of being depressed that we do not belong to this, do not belong to that. Never mind, whatever it is, simply chant and you will become purified. That is Krishna consciousness moment. Thank you very much. Haribo. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada, speaking about chastity, he was giving many examples. The first example he gave of his own life in 1935 in Mumbai. What was that example? In short.
So Prabhupada gives the example of a beggar on the street along with his wife. So the beggar's face was deformed, maybe due to some accident or something. But both the husband and wife were very clean, and the wife was bringing the husband daily to that place and taking him back. And so by that he could understand, so there was clean cloth and everything. So by that he could understand that the wife was chaste and taking good care of the husband. So chastity, Prabhupada was speaking.
Haribo. Second example from Ramanujacharya's life. Ramanujacharya's disciple. In short. Yes, Sham Jagannath. Two parts of that.
Ramanujacharya, one of the disciples, they were very poor. So once Ramanujacharya came and the wife, she was inside the home, but she was so poor that they had no clothes. She had no clothes. So Ramanujacharya gave his own cloth, and then she came out. she, in order to serve the Ramanuja, she went to the grocery shop. So the person was lusty after him, but she promised to satisfy him in the night. And then she brings and serves Ramanujacharya. So later, the husband comes and she also narrates the whole story. So husband was, he was happy that so he agrees, and then later the grocer, he comes to know the whole incident, and his heart was changed.
Haribo. What is the psychology of a woman? Men have to tell. Sudhamana.
Psychology of woman is that if she gets married before attaining the age of puberty, then she will become more devoted and chaste to the husband.
Haribo. So she becomes a staunch lover. In Bengal, they have this in specific, all over as such. She becomes very chaste. She thinks of her husband and becomes more and more devoted. This is the arrangement. What is Kanyadan? Kanyadan Dharma. Yes, Sachina Bhagavan.
Those who have daughters, so they as obligation they get their married.
Who get married?
Father gets married to the daughter.
Father gets married, his daughter
married
married to someone.
To someone.
Haribo. Some proper person, that is his duty. How did Prabhupada define Kulastriya? And what did he contrasted that with? Yes, Shuddha Chitta Prabhu.
Garbhadan Sanskar is Kula Striya. Kula Dharma.
Striya herself. That is later. First about Kula Striya. Kula Striya.
Yeah, high class family.
Woman coming from respectable family. She is not a society girl. Haribo. Then Prabhupada spoke one story from his life when he was in the college days. In this context, yes, Balaji Prabhu.
There are Prabhupada and his friends were talking near the door, and there was a sweeper, and she was waiting at a distance. So she was and Prabhupada signed his friend that she is waiting there because we are standing here. Let us move aside. Then she passed away. She is a high class lady because of her. She was high class lady because of her chastity.
She was high class lady. Okay, we had to honor her to enter. Haribo. She was feeling that how can I go between two men? What a great chaste lady. So this is Vedic culture. Woman should not be allowed to mix with man. Prabhupada said this is observed in some other place also. Some country's name he gave. Japan. Okay. Haribo. So in India also the custom is woman without husband. Explained. Yes, Sri Bhagavad Gita.
Prabhupada gave an example of butter and ghee principle that is spoken in Bhagavatam. Butter when comes in touch with fire will melt. Similarly, a man when comes in contact with woman,
they should be kept aside.
Haribo.
Shastras go even further. Prabhupada said that not only woman but something more. Yes, Subal Priya Prabhu.
Even one should not sit on the same level with daughter, wife.
Not
daughter,
wife.
daughter, mother, and sister.
Haribo. Matra swastra duhitra va na avivikta sano bhavet. But then nobody becomes lusty with mother, sister, or daughter, isn't it? So Prabhupada explained. The same shloka only explained. Want to see?
He says how our Indriyas are very, even somebody is very intelligent, the Indriyas are very strong. So we should be careful.
Vidvamsamapi karshati. Harivo! Not that some Shudra or some fool. That is what Prabhupada said. But Prabhupada said ahead that in India I am criticized. What was Prabhupada criticized for and what was his reply to all those criticizing Indians? Surpati Vaman Prabhu?
Prabhupada allowed for the devotee Matajis and the devotee Prabhujis to stay together in temple. So the people were criticizing against that. And Prabhupada replied that this is the system of the country. I cannot change that.
What to do? What have we got to do with the custom of that country? Something more Prabhupada said. Yes, they are in India, they should follow Indian culture, no? Or yes.
Prabhupada said that he wanted to give women also a chance to chant Hare Krishna. So therefore he wanted to accommodate them.
Yeah. Harivo! So no women can live at night in the temple. They can come and go. What Prabhupada said, that was there in their country. And the women, I shall not, then the women, shall I not give them any chance for chanting Hare Krishna? No. I shall do this chance. I shall give this chance to women even at the risk. So Prabhupada said chastity is very, very important thing for. Why should women be so chaste? Huh? Okay. 3-1. Gopal Prabhu. Okay, this one.
For producing good population.
So especially Garbhadan Sanskar. What is the purpose of Garbhadan Sanskar? Who does it? Yes. Madhav Sir.
3 upper classes, Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya, to produce qualified children.
Haribo! Shudras, they have no sanskar. And for these other 3, Dashavidha sanskar is 10 kinds of sanskar. Sanskar means purificatory method. Marriage is also another sanskar. Not that the husband and wife mix without any restriction and have sex life at any time. Prabhupada said no. And he gave some Shastric reference. One story. In short. Antati Prabhu.
Hiranyakashipu was born to Diti and Kashyapa. And Diti was that time excited. And Kashyapa told her this is not the right time. But then, because they went for it, Hiranyakashipu was born.
A demon was born. Harivo! So Prabhupada said, so Garbhadan Sanskar means to find out when the husband and wife should mix and give birth to a child. And Bhagavad Gita also says, sex life which is according to the principles of religious idea, Krishna is that sex. Sex life is not bad, provided it is executed according to the religious principles. The child born must be first class. Otherwise, if they are not done all these sanskaras, then if they are not born in that way, like cats and dogs, that is called Varna Sankara. Now, Prabhupada mentioned Varna Sankara a little bit more. You cannot specify something in that. What you cannot specify in Varna Sankara population?
Prabhupada said that one cannot specify he belongs to which caste, or Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra.
Not caste exactly. Class. No? Okay. His guna and karma is all mixed. Harivo! So Varna Sankara population is not good. Varna Sankara. No caste, no designation, no definition to which class this person belongs to. So what Prabhupada said, in India now they are not accepting these purificatory processes, so the whole thing is topsy-turvy. Varna Sankara is less than Shudra. So about Diksha, Prabhupada said something. He talked about professional gurus and something Sanatan Goswami, our Acharya, says. So what he said about professional gurus?
Prabhupada said that regarding professional gurus that they are giving initiation, but they don't accept the food cooked by the disciple.
Would initiation to whom?
To the
Initiation
Shudras.
can be given.
Yeah, to the Shudras.
Ah.
Yeah. And
They give initiation to Shudras,
yeah.
but
don't accept the food cooked by them.
that means they are not able to.
But they want to be their guru.
That means they are not able to elevate their disciples above the Shudra level. That's why they don't accept in their house.
Yeah.
Harivo! Prabhupada said, but they keep him Shudra only. The guru doesn't have qualification only to upgrade him.
Regarding Sanatan Goswami, the example of copper, tin and mercury are mixed in such a way, so the gold is produced. So the example is given in connection to the initiation given to the person. He comes to the level of Brahmana.
Dvija. Harivo! By proper initiation, by the proper spiritual master, one Shudra, even though he is a Shudra, less than Shudra, Varna, Sankara or Chandal, he can become Dvija, Brahman. So Prabhupada talked about, for that, making him Dvija. Which Vidhi is that? One shloka he quoted. And who is the Acharya who gave that Vidhi? Who is that?
He told about Pancharatrika Vidhi, Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatrika, what is that? Shruti,
Vidhim Vina.
Vidhim Vina,
Ekantika
Harer Bhaktir, Utpata Eva Kalpate.
And Acharya?
Acharya is Sanatan Goswami.
Shruti, Smriti. Rupa Goswami gives this direction.
Rupa Goswami.
Rivo! Then he talked about how many prasthans, which are they and what are they. Yes, some explanation. Yes, Sudhamanath Prabhu.
Prabhupada explained Nyaya Prasthan, Shruti Prasthan and Smriti Prasthan. And then he told that...
what is Nyaya Prasthan?
Nyaya Prasthan means basically the books which are in connection with the Vedic literatures. They are also considered to be Vedic literatures and they are authorized way to practice Pancharatrika Vidhi.
Vedanta philosophy, Vedic ways are according to Smriti. Smriti means authorized books according to the Shruti, just like Bhagavad Gita. So it is, Bhagavad Gita is not directly Vedas, but all the stanzas of Bhagavad Gita, they are strictly according to Nyaya Prasthan and Shruti Prasthan. So any book which is strictly written according to the Vedas and Vedantas, that is also accepted as Vedic literature. Harivo! Prabhupada talked about grades, class, first class, second class, third class. How many classes he spoke? What are they? Classes, first class. Okay, you only tell them.
Prabhupada said, first class is Brahmana, second class is Kshatriya, third class Vaishya, fourth class Shudra, fifth class Chandalas or Panchamas, those who are untouchables.
Harivo! So the Pap Yoni, Chandala is Pap Yoni, below Shudras. Which verse of Shukdev Goswami did Prabhupada quote in this context? What does it mean? Yes, Siddha Chituru.
Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkisa Abhira Sumba Yavanakshade Ya Necha Papa Yadya Pasrasya Shuddhanti Tasma Prabhavishnu.
Meaning?
Shuddhanti, they become purified.
When?
When they accept Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is so powerful that when they take Vishnu mantra, they become purified.
They become Vaishnavas and one can transcend all these restrictions, sociology, etc. Harivo! Prabhupada quoted Mamcho Avyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena Savati. He immediately transcends. He comes to Brahman platform because he has taken devotional service seriously. He is no more on the material platform. on the material platform, there are distinctions of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But when one transcends all that, simply in pure unalloyed service, he is rendering service. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Then Prabhupada talked about this. He spoke a very heavy word for Brahmanas. What was that word and how did he explain? Like Brahman is in Sattva Gun. Very nice.
He said Brahmana are they are first class prisoners, and he said about but they are not free from the prison, and one has to become Vaishnava to become free from the prison. Even he gave the example of Gandhi or some other people who are kept in jail. They were not free. They were given the facilities like books and all the things, but they were in jail.
Rivo! So Prabhupada said, our point of view is not to become a first class prisoner, but to get out of the prison. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।